What's up, everybody? Welcome to my free training video where I'll be showing you exactly how I went from crippling joint pain to moving completely pain-free using functional movement training and the kinetic elite method. We'll just start with an introduction. My name is Connor Cole. I'm an ISSA certified personal trainer, and I've been learning about joint pain and joint health for about 6 years now. So what started it all for me is when I was about 11, I developed plantar fasciitis in both of my feet, patellar tendonitis in both of my knees, and extreme lower back pain. Literally, my first time going to a chiropractor was when I was 11 years old. It was that bad. And I struggled a lot. Like, literally, it got to a point where I couldn't remember the last time my joints didn't hurt. Every single morning when I would wake up, I would just be super stiff. I couldn't even get out of bed. Like, I had to sit there and stretch and massage my feet and whatever. And I just didn't know how to fix my situation. I would spend hours just mindlessly stretching, hoping I would get some relief, but I just didn't have any structure. I didn't have any goals I could work towards, so nothing ever changed. And as if that wasn't bad enough, I decided it was a good idea to go get hit by a car when I was about 13, which just furthered all of my issues. My knees got worse, my lower back got significantly worse, and it literally just got to a point where when I was about 14, I literally just woke up one morning and I was like, all right, chiropractor's not helping. I was seeing the chiropractor twice a week at this point, and just nothing changed. I was waking up every single day in pain, and really, I was just in pain all the time. Like, my joints were constantly hurting. And I just woke up one morning and just decided, enough is enough. Obviously, the chiropractor's not helping. I need to figure out how to start fixing this on my own. So I started learning about joint pain, about joint health, mobility, whatever, and I did see quite a bit of improvements. I got to a point where I wasn't waking up completely in pain every day, but then I had another major setback when I was about 17. I absolutely destroyed my meniscus. I was playing volleyball. I had a weird dive where I dislocated my kneecap and hit my meniscus directly on the floor. And then about a week later, I had a weird landing where I completely just finished the job with my meniscus. I tore it completely through in two different directions. And I had finally felt like I was getting somewhere with all this, with the joint pain. Like, my knees finally started to feel a little better. Just to have another massive setback. I had a couple D1 offers for volleyball, lost those, and it was just like, I I was desperate. I was just desperate to change my life and finally put all of this joint pain behind me and not have that be the limiting factor for so many things in my life. So I'll be showing you exactly how I went from that to now. I move completely pain free. I'm still able to do the things I love. I'm able to play volleyball again. I train as much as I want, and the joints are no longer a limiting factor in my life. Um, so basically, yeah, just how I went from literal rock bottom to feeling on top of the world. We'll just get straight into it. So, what are the biggest problems that people with chronic joint pain face? Other than the pain itself, of course, I think the biggest problem is having no structure. Like, you don't know what to do. You're just kind of mindlessly stretching or icing or using heat or whatever. You have absolutely no structure, and therefore you have no improvement. And when you are sitting there spending hours, icing, heat therapy, all these things, and you don't have any structure, and therefore you're not seeing improvement, it really leaves you with no hope. You feel like there's absolutely nothing you can do to alleviate the joint pain and get rid of it and just move on with your life. And that's why I developed the 4 pillars of the kinetic elite method. So pillar number 1 is functional movement. So this will actually rebuild your joint strength and mobility without making the pain worse, which is, if I had known you could do that the whole time, it would have been super nice. Pillar number 2, inflammation reset. So eating in a way where your inflammation of your body actually calms down to give your joints a chance to heal. Pillar number 3 is targeted supplementation. if your body doesn't have the things that it needs to actually heal those joints, it can't, right? So making sure you have all the things you need. And with our program, we give you our exact supplement stack. So there is no guesswork, but the targeted supplementation does make a huge difference. And the most important piece of the puzzle is consistency and accountability. Okay. If you have the other three pieces of the pillar, but you only, do it for a month and then your joints start to feel a little better and then you give up, you'll just be straight back to square one. So staying consistent with it is the biggest thing, like the biggest thing you can do to actually see a huge difference with your joints. So without further ado, I present to you the Kinetic Elite method. Phase one, mobilize. This will typically take 1 to 3 months. Obviously, it depends on your situation, but on average, about 1 to 3 months. We'll start by breaking down the scar tissue that are haunting your joints and restoring proper blood flow. So this will prepare your body to actually start, moving again, and it'll prepare your body for phase two, so that when we actually get to that point, your body's not fighting against you the whole time. It's actually going to be working with you. So the main things we'll focus on in this phase is mobility training, joint flossing, foam rolling, isometric holds, and just like the other phases, the supplement protocol and the anti-inflammatory high protein, high collagen diet. Because again, if you don't give your body the things it needs, it doesn't matter what you do, your body can't heal. So once you're done with phase one, we move on to phase two, which is rebuild. This should also typically take about 1 to 3 months. So now that the joints are prepared, we'll actually start to repair the damage by strengthening the tendons and ligaments themselves, as well as the muscles around them. And this is where you'll notice the biggest difference in your joints. You'll actually start to feel like your joints are strong again. You won't just feel like you're gonna, tear your meniscus just walking down the stairs or whatever. So main things we'll be focusing on in this phase are resistance training, progressive range of motion. So further progressing along that mobility training from phase one. We'll be adding in balance and stability training just to get those joints strong again. Heat and cold therapy helps with the recovery. And then, of course, the supplementation protocol and the anti-inflammatory high protein, high collagen diet. And then once you're done with phase two, you move on to the most important phase of the three, which is maintain, right? And this is what makes the Kinetic Elite method different than other training protocols. We're not just going to stop once you start to feel better, all right? I'm going to give you the exact steps that you need to take to keep your results and have lasting results, because we want to get you to a point where you can finally say goodbye to this chronic joint pain that you've been struggling with for, months or even years, and you can finally just put all that behind you and just move on with your life. So main things that we do in this phase, that's the daily maintenance protocol that I'll make for you, where you, again, no guesswork, you know exactly what you need to do every day to maintain those results. We'll do regular check-ins to make sure that you're maintaining those results, and then just basic habit tracking, right? So that you know that you're doing the things that you need to continue doing to just keep that joint pain behind you and just move on with your life. So that is the exact protocol that I used to get from just waking up every single morning with my joints hurting and just constant setbacks to now where I'm able to finally move pain free. So if you want the exact protocol, the exact workout plan that I used to get this, DM me Kinetic on Instagram for one-on-one coaching. That's at kinetic.elite, or just go ahead and click the link in the description of this video to book a free call where I'll see if this is even something that could benefit you. And if it is, great, we can go ahead and get that set up. And when you sign up, we'll actually send you a free care package for no added cost that'll come with everything you need for the course, plus the supplements that you need throughout the duration of the course. So there's literally no guesswork for you. You'll have everything that you need to go from chronic joint pain to moving completely pain-free and finally moving on with your life, opening that next chapter of just pain-free movement. So if you're ready to make that change, click the link in the description or DM me Kinetic on Instagram. I'll see you guys there.